Hello, my name is Steven D'Amato, and this is the final segment of my ePortfolio and a final reflection of my HORT 120 course and experience. This course introduced us to both industry and non-industry specific softwares, including AutoCAD, Dynascape, Real-Time Landscaping Architect, VIP 3D, and SketchUp, which work together to help us develop a good understanding of computer-based landscape design across multiple softwares used within the industry. First, going into HORT 120, I had an initial expectation of how the class was going to go. I believed it was going to be difficult, as prior to HORT 120, I have no computer design experience, and it would be a completely new field for me. However, the progression of softwares learned throughout HORT 120, going from 2D designing in the beginning, using softwares AutoCAD and Dynascape, to incorporating some 3D aspects within Real-Time Landscaping Architect and VIP 3D, to finally SketchUp, which operates and allows a user to design in a 3D format only. This easy to follow along setup of softwares allowed me to take the skills I learned from the previous one and apply them to each additional software, helped me grasp a better understanding of how each one worked at the end. This course had us start out with the non-industry specific software, AutoCAD, using these two templates shown below. In AutoCAD, we first traced over the HORT 120 garden plan, using AutoCAD's basic tools, such as the line, circle, and arc tool. This helped us practice our skills, and once they improved, we graduated to using the HORT 120 master plan, which was the template we used for the remainder of the softwares within the course, those being Dynascape and Real-Time Landscape Architect. Importing and correctly scaling these background images was the first step when using each of the softwares, making sure we were working using a one-to-one scale, which kept us in real-world dimensions. Although using a background image takes away from the uniqueness of our design, it helped keep the design process very simple, allowing us to focus on becoming proficient and comfortable using the given tools of each software. This process is known as intuitive adaptation, where we took the skills learned using one software and applied them to a similar process within another software. This helped us develop a greater understanding of how each of the softwares function and differ from each other. For example, in every software, the background images must first be imported correctly, which each software had its own process of doing. Every software used in HORT 120 has similar aspects, which can be broken down into 5 key concepts. Firstly is drawing template and scaling a background image. Each software used in HORT 120 had us insert a background image and scale it one-to-one. This made sure we were working in real-world dimensions and kept us accurate within our design process. This then allowed us to choose our desired page setup for printing after the final design was completed. This helped us stay organized and streamline the process for finalizing our design and printing. Next are the individual software tools. In each of the softwares we used in HORT 120, there were 2 general types of tools, which we utilized to create our design. They were basic tools and object-specific tools. Softwares like AutoCAD and Dynascape gave us general tools such as the line, polyline, circle, and arc tool, which we mainly used to draw in and insert the bulk of our design when tracing the background image. These differ from softwares like Real-Time Landscape Architect and VIP 3D, which gave us what's known as object-specific tools. These tools include the house tool, the patio tool, and the deck tool, which would automatically insert the desired model directly into our design. These object-specific tools were extremely useful in our design process as they were very time efficient, helping us to build large portions of our design in a relatively short time. When it came to organizing our design, each software had its own way to manage up the different layers, which made up our design. AutoCAD, Dynascape, and Real-Time Landscape Architect accomplished this by giving us layers, which gave each differing object type its own color and allowing us to change its color, line weight, and line type to our own customization desires. Utilizing these layers was crucial in keeping us organized when we were designing. However, later softwares we used in HORT 120 use completely different methods of organizing. Firstly is VIP 3D, which instead of pre-made layers, organizes different components of our design into what it calls object-specific stages. I enjoy using this software very much as it helps simplify the designing process by combining the layer-specific component with the tool needed to create it. For example, you could access the deck tool only on the hardscape and deck layer. This helped to minimize the mistake of accidentally inserting a model on an incorrect layer, something that would happen often when using AutoCAD, Dynarscape, and Realtime. Secondly is SketchUp, which also used a unique method of organization. It didn't use layers. Instead, it allowed us to create individual components, which could be assembled piece by piece and built into our final design. Below are components that I created when building the railing model. I found this process of creating individual components time-consuming and must say VIP3D's method of its object-specific tools and layers is my favorite. Next is the use of pre-made objects. Each software in HORT 120 had its own ways to insert objects within your design. Some were built in, and others required external web pages, which models would be downloaded from and inserted. AutoCAD and SketchUp required us to download our site amenities from external sites, those being 3D Warehouse and CADblocks.net. While in other softwares, Dynarscape, Real-Time Landscaping Architect, and VIP3D, the site amenities are already preloaded into the softwares in their built-in libraries of plants and site amenities. This made the design process a lot easier, and I prefer this, as it made for very time-efficient designing. And for the industry-specific softwares we used in HORT 120, they also had unique features which set them apart from the non-industry specific softwares, helping us to develop more detailed and polished final designs. The industry-specific softwares each gave us the option to insert a detailed plant legend into our final design. VIP3D even going as far as to giving us a cost breakdown analysis of each of the plants which make up our final design. Real-Time Landscape Architect and VIP3DD also give us a photo and video mode, which allow us to create highlights of aesthetically pleasing aspects of our design or to create a video walkthrough tour. These features could be used to show potential clients what the completed design would look like, making for a great selling tool. Each of the softwares also allowed us to insert our selected photos and plant lists into the final plan view, further adding to the thoroughness and professionality of these softwares. In conclusion, I found HORT 120 a very capable tool which has helped me grasp a basic understanding of the landscaping softwares frequently used within the industry, along with greatly improving my general computer skills, which has no doubt been the most substantial benefit to taking this course. The computer skills I learned within HORT 120 have provided me with a good level of base knowledge in regards to these types of computer softwares. This knowledge will prove to be very useful to me as I can use it towards my future academic and professional career goals. Therefore, making HORT 120 an extremely valuable tool for my future career within the industry of landscape design. Thank you very much, and this has been Stephen D'Amato with my final ePortfolio reflection.